Search AutoTrader.
This is the new BMW i4, more specifically, the BMW i4 M50. And it is the first electric BMW to wear the coveted M badge. Admittedly, it's not a full-blown M division vehicle, it is an M Sport, but nevertheless, if it gets that stamp of approval, it's got to be pretty good. And it is. This is a rather phenomenal vehicle, and it's rather unique as well. It's based on the CLAR modular platform, which is shared by vehicles like the 3 Series and the 4 Series. This one, 4 Series Grand Coupe. That also makes it the only compact sedan on sale in South Africa that is full electric. We've got GT cars, we've got hatchbacks, we've got SUVs out the wazoo. But there's no regular sedan, a 4-door sedan. BMW calls this a 4-door coupe. Theoretically, it's a 5-door. The rear lift's open. But it is full electric. And it is phenomenal. It is a brilliant, brilliant vehicle. If you're in the market for an electric BMW, they've got you covered in 3 rather distinct flavors. There is the BMW iX3, which looks and feels just like an X3, except it's electrified. The interior is virtually identical to the X3 that you can buy, if it's got a diesel or a petrol engine in it. On the opposite end of the spectrum, the real futuristic, bold, innovative approach is taken by the iX, and we've got a review on that as well. There it's, well, modern BMW. It's not too BMW, but there's still little hints of BMW that come through. The i4, though, sits smack bang in the middle. It's familiar, it's a comfortable size, it's very BMW, but then it's still that modern electrified BMW in certain areas. In the interior, it's sort of split about midway. From that center line down, it's regular 4 Series Grand Coupe. But from that line up, well, then it's a lot more modern. You've got this beautiful curved screen, like the iX. It runs BMW's operating system 8 on it, and it is rather fantastic. It's really, really good, and it has the voice assistant, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, and of course, all those little features that you want in an electric vehicle, like, you know, your range, your charging, nearest charging stations, all those little odds and ends that you need when you've got an electric vehicle. But the rest of it, well, it's very BMW. Even the gear selector is very traditional 4 Series Grand Coupe. You just slot it over to the side like sport mode, and that's your regenerative braking, which means that you can do one pedal driving. Let's get down to the not so oily bits now. The i4 M50 uses 2 motor setups, one on the front axle and one on the rear. But BMW is priding themselves on creating a very compact package for the motor, the control unit, and the reduction gearbox system. It's really, really small, and it sits on the front and the rear axle with the batteries in between. The transmission tunnel that would usually house the prop shaft, well, that houses some extra batteries here. It's got a 43.9 kilowatt hour battery pack. Now, that's not the largest, but it's not small either. And they say that it's going to give you over 500 kilometers of range, 510 kilometers as tested by the WLTP cycle. Not so. Realistically, you may be going to get about 410 kilometers, and of course, if you've been hammering on it, that's going to drop down to about 300. But power output, 795 newtons and 400 kilowatts to all 4 wheels with a low center of gravity. You're starting to see why it's got that M50 badge. And that is because it will do 0 to 100 in 3.9 seconds. 3.9 seconds. That's 0.1 slower than an M4. And this is cheaper than an M4. It handles beautifully. The M50 does get the adaptive damper settings, so we can also select our different drive modes. We've got sport mode there, comfort, and of course, Eco Pro. We'll leave it in comfort. It is rather comfortable. You can feel the weight, but you get really accustomed to driving it as well, especially with the regenerative braking on. The entire drivetrain and system can accept up to 200 kilowatts of DC charge. We've only got 150 kilowatts chargers locally at the moment, but I'm sure that soon we'll have some super fast chargers of 200 kilowatts. Alternatively, on AC, it'll accept 11 kilowatt onboard charging. But it's as comfortable and as easy to drive as a diesel 4 Series Grand Coupe. Beautiful instant torque, compact size, comfortable, and then it's sporty as well. It handles exceptionally well. Low center of gravity, all-wheel drive, and of course that instant torque makes it an absolute hoot to drive. This is a fantastic, fantastic electric offering. It is the only one, as I say, that is a compact sedan that is full electric in South Africa at the moment. And that's going to appeal to, well, traditional BMW purists. Although they're probably not going to like the fact that it's electric. But it can appeal to them. It appeals to me. I really love this. This, I think, is, well, everything we need in a car. This i4 M50 retails for 1.6 million rand before options, which, as I say, is cheaper than an M4, yet it has M4 levels of performance. It will handle right up there with an M4. It'll accelerate right up there with the M4. But admittedly, it is limited to an electronic top speed of 225 kilometers an hour. Tell us what you think about the i4 M50 and let us know in the comments below. And don't forget,
Search AutoTrader.